flare tip.
Another one. Alright, when you swedge, you're going to use this one. Okay, when you flare, you are only going to flare the 3/8 copper, okay, the small copper. You're going to cut these and these. Well, these ones you're going to cut into, I think I have enough fittings. So you're going to cut these into 4. Okay, so these should be about 12 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you're going to make, what is that? 1, 2, 3 cuts to get 4 pieces. Same thing with this. You're actually going to cut it, what do I have? Might have enough for you guys to do it. But what I'm going to have you guys do with these ones is you're going to bend these, swedge one out, bend another one, swedge it out, and you're only going to swedge one side so that way you can make a full square out of bending it. Okay, so that way you get some practice with bending. For this one, you're just going to cut, but I'm not going to go through all of that. I'm just going to show you guys how to use the actual tools. You're only swedging and flaring with these items on the little copper, okay? The big copper, we're gonna use the bigger stuff. So, when you swedge, you're gonna go to the 3/8 hole, okay? There's a bunch of little measurements. You're gonna go to the 3/8 hole, and you want whatever is sticking out from the base of this to the end of that little cone right here. So right there. Okay, everyone see that? That's about how much you want sticking out. Okay? So I'm looking at it, that's about it. I'm gonna tighten it down. And remember what he says in the video, as you tighten one side comes undone. So make sure you get a nice good hand tight on both sides. Grab your tool. Get an extra little half turn in there, a quarter turn, nothing too crazy. Usually you have an extra fitting or adapter to this. You don't absolutely need it, but it does come in handy. It's this little black piece right here. These are technically supposed to have little snap locks that lock onto this, but with all the use, they get broken off. This is beveled on the inside, okay? This side it's flat, this side it's beveled down, okay? I'm gonna go into it. I'm not quite there, so I have to undo it or back it out until this drops down enough to where these sides can lock down on it, like he was talking about. Almost, oh, there it is, okay? So it's locked on, right? Straight. I can turn it, and now it's locked on. Now I'm just gonna tighten this down until it stops or until it becomes really hard. You guys will struggle with this. That's okay. Just keep trying. And when you guys do this tomorrow, you're like, you made it look so easy. It's because I'm a dad, okay? Get that dad straight. Okay, there you go, the swedge, right? So now, another one, gonna go right into it, okay? Then you're going to flare. You're gonna flare, so you'll get another one of these, you'll cut it in half, and you and a partner will then cut it again in half, okay? So you're gonna use 2 of these, but you're only gonna get a total of, what, 18 inches, okay? 12 to make a square, and then 6 to cut it in half, so that way you can do a flare, so you can join it to make it look like this, okay? So if you see here, that's a flare, right? If you're gonna do this, let's pretend this copper line is sticking out right from the wall. I cannot make this flare and then try to put this on, right? That's not how that works. You have to put this on first, so that way when you do make the flare, it snaps on and then you can tighten down your nut, okay? So when you do this, you're gonna put one on each side, but you don't have to worry about it being on there before or not, because you're gonna cut it in half to join 2 pieces together. But you're going to put that black piece on. Whole same concept, except for this one, it's gonna be a little bit different with how much sticks out. We want to barely be able to see any stick out. See how much is sticking out? Not much, right? So we're gonna go ahead, flare it. This one's gonna be done usually a lot faster, just like a couple turns and it'll be done. There you go, there's your flare. Pretty easy, right? Yeah. They make them even easier now. You guys aren't going to use this because we've had students break these, but they make them even easier to where all you have to do is put in your copper, tighten this down, that is way too much. All you do is you sit here and you twist this. It's almost a perfect flare. Okay? So they make tools a lot simpler than this. This is, I guess, old school if you want to call it, but that's how you do it, okay? So small copper, swedge, and flare. Next is the big guy. You guys probably saw me use it the other day. Once you make sure that your copper is cut and all deburred and sanded and make sure it's all nice and clean, you gotta make sure it's fully open to put it on, because it won't go on because now it's expanded. Retract it, okay? Here's just gonna put this pipe in. Once it's deburred, you won't have to do this. And all you're gonna do is nice and easy. That's it, okay? It'll make a perfect coupling. Now, boom. That's it. You like that way? All right. Since we all love to see if Alyssa can always do something, right? Everyone's always like, can Alyssa do it? And then she ends up showing you all up. She ends up showing you guys all up.
Oh, shit.
She got almost.
Oh, she can't do it. Oh, shit. Hey, where you going? Hey, I need a man.
There it is.
There you go. You should just stop doing the bicep curls. That's actually messed up.
So,
Warm up first.
hey, you'd be surprised how many guys actually struggle with this too. So, if you struggle with it, okay, grab it, put it here, crunch down.
Now you tell me.
Okay. It also helps, instead of going like this out, you bring it in and you,
She was trying to flex though.
Just so you know.
She was doing. She wanted to show off.
like I said, they make hydraulic ones. I didn't bring mine, but we have a certain other type of hydraulic one. So pretty much, you put these fittings into this. This one's a really weird one. I don't like it. And then you would just sit here and you would pump it. And as you pump it, it'll expand it, and then you'd be done. But I'm not a fan of this. Like you got to grease it up and oil it and all that. I don't like this one. But you guys will bend your copper, like I was talking about. So they do have hand benders. I think in there there's springs. They look like giant springs. Or no. So like these are hand benders. Okay, so instead of being awesome and being able to bend it by hand and making that awesome 90 that you need, right? Sometimes you can't do that. So what you do, if I didn't have a swedge and a flare, you would put this in here. Bend it back out a little bit like I was talking about. This way. Probably should have done a little bit less. There you go. Nice good bend, right? Without having to worry about kinking it. So you guys aren't going to use this to bend because you're not going to be bending the 3/8. You're going to be bending the 3/4. 3/4, you're going to use this guy. Put this guy right here. Make sure it says 3/4. You guys are lucky. I usually don't have any more 3/4, so we stopped doing this whole process. But because we took apart all these units, we have tons of 3/4 left. So. All right, so make sure 3/4 is facing down because that's where the pipe's gonna sit. And then you're just gonna sit here and tire yourself out. No crazy strength needed. If you need to, you can, Okay, that's it. Undo it, it drops. Pull out the copper. Now, there's your 90, right? Like I said, you might have to bend this a little bit. And be careful because you will overbend it. But you're gonna swedge only one side. So that way you can make a connection here. You're gonna bend this one, right? Swedge this side so that way you can make a connection, right? So only one side is gonna get swedged, not both. Okay. See the cutters? They're in the top that's everything you guys are gonna do to prep your copper. Is there sandpaper in there? There should be some kind of, yeah, here. This is what you're gonna use to clean up your copper, okay? So you'll just cut a little strip off. You don't need a crazy amount. And you're just gonna go all the way around. Make it nice and shiny, okay?
Were you using a lot of force?
I mean, I guess. So I'm going to show you how to braze in person so that way you guys can actually see it. So we'll put this guy right here. And I'm going to show you both torches.
Hey Bruno, you know one of the units leaking over here? Water?
Leaking water.
Yeah, there's a puddle over here.
Gotta get the plumb out.
Where?
Make sure they have the fruit. Huh? Make sure they have the fruit in there.
Which one? Oh, that means somebody turned that one on. I'm not supposed to. I ain't supposed to touch those ones. So the biggest thing that I'm going to ask of you guys is put everything back. Okay? If you use it, put it back, please.
Do you usually just bend on the field, or do you use like the flare and the
What do you mean?
like? Do you usually do the couplings, or
I
or
usually-
do you just bend it?
I usually make my own couplings. So I'll switch them out. I don't like using fittings. So I'll bend it, make my own coupling and all that. Okay. So the acetylene torch, the air acetylene, the one that he did last, they're mounted to the sides of these tables. All you're gonna do is open it up. It's just a little service wrench. It's that wrench that you guys use to close those valves, except without that little nub. So you're just gonna open it up. You'll have a striker and some brazing rod.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not very well.
So you can make it quieter, except this is gonna take you a lot longer, okay? So you're gonna have to deal with the screaming while I braze this one real quick. First the feet out of the pipe. Just not the brazing rod. Move to the coupling. have to worry about putting too much. As you saw, I put like a little bit stick, like that was like this much, and I put a little bit extra just to make sure my braze was good. This one will wrap around the whole pipe, so you don't have to worry too much about moving it all around. I just like to move it because I feel like it's easier than just holding it here and then trying to go all the way around. I just like to follow it. You can just leave it and it'll go. And I'll show you with the oxyacetylene how the heat will move the brazing rod entirely. So then once everyone's done brazing, make sure you go and you close off the tank. And then you're just gonna bleed out the gas. You don't hear it anymore. And then coil it back up right there. So oxyacetylene. Well, these are straps too. Oh, yeah, here, let me know. Sorry, okay, so I'm gonna open up my oxygen, see where it's at. About what? 14, almost 1400. My acetylene looks already open, but it's closed, so that means somebody didn't bleed out the lines. So I'm gonna open it up. I'm going to back these out completely and bleed these out. So I have pressure in my acetylene, I have pressure in my oxygen. Now I'm going to adjust my pressures. So I'm going to open my oxygen, go to 10. You have to know what you're reading. So on his videos, he was talking about the red line, and this one is black. Okay, so make sure you know which one you're reading. So I'm at 10 there, and my acetylene is at 5. Okay. Anyone know what acetylene is? No? Okay. You need to take a little whiff of this. Little hit. Like that? I'm not going to go all the way out. Really. Yeah, you smell that?
What does it smell like?
You tell me.
Oh, it's a good time.
It smells like a good time. I can drive home now.
Take a big wood flapper steak.
Come on.
Smells like acetone.
It smells like acetone, right?
Yeah.
It smells like nail polish remover.
Yeah.
It's usually what everyone says. Alright. So, what he was talking about in the video about the little parachuters, this is just acetylene. Okay, if we're here, see that black smoke?
Yeah.
Now watch. You see the little parachuters? The really tiny little flakes? Well, that eventually, over time, and especially here when you guys do it, there's gonna be black all over the walls. You guys won't notice it. The next day, you're gonna come in, there's gonna be a little black soot all over this place. And you're gonna be like, wow,
Oh, yeah.
that's gross, okay? So, we wanna make it to where either we have a lot of acetylene, so we don't do it, right? Which is kind of a waste. Or, you can crack the acetylene and oxygen like he was talking about and hopefully get a good, just close. Alright? So, how do we want our flames? So in the video, it looks like he's like, in the video, it looks like he's like this, right? But it's just because of lighting. So we don't want it to look like that. We don't want it to even look like that, okay? Because there's an inner cone and then an outer cone and then this whole cone, right? So we want to get it down to where this thing is, boom, right there. Just that single blue cone in the center. Okay, not that, that. Okay, so you can make it hotter, right? Or you can make it colder. It's still hot, don't get me wrong, but it's just not as hot, okay? So what does really hot look like? How fast will it burn a hole? Pretty quick. So how do we cover holes? We don't do this in the field, but for this purpose, this is how I like to do it. I give it a little base. There you go. Covered my hole. So, heat up the pipe. Just melt the brazing rod. It's melting, so I'm going to move to the coupling, and capillary action is going to pull it in so deep. Love that he says that. So, what happens if I do this? Let's see. Oh, shit. It's really hard for me to mess up sometimes. Right? This is how your brazes are going to start looking. You guys are going to get all blobby with it. Right? Well, instead of keep putting this super expensive brazing rod on there, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this, I'm going to heat it up, it's going to start melting, and I'm going to move. Now keep in mind, I didn't even go underneath, right? With the actual rod. But I just sealed up the entire bottom side of my joint without adding any more. And I still have more, so I can keep on doing it. Now to a certain point, I'm gonna start losing it to where I'm not gonna have a good seal. Right? But I was able to use all of it now. So now I can go in and make my nice, good adjustments to make it really nice and clean. And with oxyacetylene, you have to put the flame where you want it. Okay, I can't put it here and expect it to melt back here because it's only getting hot right here. Yes, the whole pipe's getting hot, but it's not getting hot enough. So I have to move it where it goes. If you're right-handed, like me, you see how I'm not holding the flame in my right hand? What am I holding in my right hand?
Rod.
What is this? Think about it. Like your pencil, your pen, right? Whatever you write with, hold the brazing rod. This is your pen, okay? This is your paintbrush, happy little trees. This is just heat, okay? So I'm just here heating it up, and this is my pen. This is what I'm actually using to get that fineness, okay? And then when you're turning it off, acetylene, oxygen, acetylene, doesn't matter.
So to get the flame like that, are you using more or less oxygen?
It just depends. So this is, I can tell this is too much acetylene. So if I go no oxygen, it didn't really change, right? Now I'm giving it oxygen, too much acetylene, not enough oxygen still, right? The acetylene was overpowered. So I go less acetylene, now I give it a little bit of oxygen. Oxygen's controlling. So right here, like, this is the acetylene. If I want to make that calmer, it's really loud. If I want to quiet it down, if I give it less acetylene right here, it's going to be too much oxygen. That's not a good flame. So then I got to back out the oxygen and give it less. See how the flame gets bigger? So it's a fine little adjustment here and there. It could be acetylene, it could be oxygen. It just depends. And then you have other way. Dang it. Can't do it. It's hard to do it. Okay, so you kind of heard that little in the beginning, right when it lit at that time. It was lit a little bit inside the tip and then it came out. What you'll also hear sometimes is backfire, and it literally sounds like car backfire. If you've never heard a car backfire, that's what it sounds like. Some of these are really prone to it. I don't know which ones they are, but as soon as you go to light it, it'll do pop, pop, pop. Or when you turn it off, it'll do that. If it does, just make sure that it's still not lighting anywhere, okay? So that's why he says give it more oxygen and then turn it off. Because if it's still lit somewhere inside, if I give it oxygen too much, it's gonna kill it. So you gotta be careful there. So that's it. That's brazing, okay? And again, we have a lot of soot buildup, right? I don't have, grab me the channel locks over there. I didn't run nitrogen through this. Thank you. I didn't run nitrogen through this. So I'll probably have a lot of soot. Right? That's a lot. That's all contamination in your system. So we don't want that. So we have to braze with nitrogen. Now when you guys braze, you're not going to braze with nitrogen because we're just getting the concept down in the field. Please braze with nitrogen. Good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when you're done, shut off the tanks. Shut off. Close it down. Oops, I'm opening it. No. And then bleed out your line. You can see everything go down to 0. There we go. And then again, just put everything back. Once you guys are all done. Don't just leave it hanging out for the next person. Like, at least be nice and wrap it up. You can leave the tanks on, but wrap it up and put it away like this, and then move on to whatever you're doing. Okay. The way you're gonna test to see if you're good is there's gonna be a bucket of water. You're gonna dump yours in the bucket of water. You're gonna let it sit for a little bit. So I recommend writing your name on it with a Sharpie. Dunk it in the water, leave it, come back, get it, shake it. If you hear water sloshing, you have a leak. If you don't hear water sloshing, you're good. Once you're done, if you want to take the copper home, you can. If you don't want it, throw it in that bin right there. The garbage can. Good? All right. I won't be here the rest of the week, so have fun with Barbara.